The twin suns of the colony planet Alaris sank slowly into the horizon, casting golden and amber hues over the rolling plains of the settlement. Small clusters of human homes and laboratories glimmered in the soft light, reflecting the hard-working spirit of those who had left Earth generations ago to build a new life among the stars. In the quiet of the evening, Liam leaned against the edge of a small observation deck, staring at the horizon. His hair, a shade darker than the planet's red soil, fluttered in the gentle breeze that carried the faint scent of Earth-imported flowers. He smiled to himself, thinking of the day's experiments in the colony lab. It was another routine day, yet somehow it felt lighter, more meaningful. A soft laugh broke his thoughts. Turning, he saw Ava, her hair glowing like molten copper under the twin suns, walking toward him with a basket of fresh fruits from the settlement's greenhouses. Her eyes sparkled with curiosity, as they always did, and she had that familiar air of confidence mixed with mischief. "Liam, you're still staring at nothing," she said, shaking her head as she set the basket down beside him. "If you keep daydreaming like this, you'll miss your own dinner." "I'm just thinking," Liam replied, his gaze shifting back to the horizon, "about everything we're building here. About how humans can make a place like this bloom, even in a land no one thought was livable." Ava smiled, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. "That's the spirit. Humans do what they want, don't they? Even when the odds are impossible." They stood together in silence, watching the twin suns dip below the distant hills. Liam remembered how, years ago, he and Ava had spent hours exploring the outskirts of the colony, pretending they were the first humans to land on a new world. They had dreamed of flying to the stars, building cities, and leaving their mark across the galaxy. And now, some of those dreams were coming true. Suddenly, Liam turned to her, a playful smile spreading across his face. "You know," he said, stepping closer, "one day I'm going to marry you." Ava blinked at him, startled. "What?" she asked, unsure if he was joking. "I said, I'll marry you someday," he repeated, a mischievous glint in his eyes. "I promise," Ava laughed, shaking her head. "You're impossible, Liam. That's just silly. You can't just say something like that." "I can," he said firmly, though his tone was soft. "And I mean it. Someday when the stars align, we'll find ourselves back here, together." Ava giggled again, but there was something in her eyes, a flicker of wonder, a hint that maybe, just maybe, she believed him. "All right," she said finally, "I'll hold you to that. But don't let the stars play tricks on you, Liam." The wind carried their laughter across the plains, and for a moment, the world felt perfectly still. Neither of them knew how far the future would stretch, or how complicated their lives would become. All they knew was this promise, simple and light, yet heavy with meaning for the hearts of two young humans chasing the stars. As the months passed, life on Alaris continued in its steady rhythm. Liam focused on his work at the colony's innovation lab, developing systems to harness the planet's energy and improve its habitability. Ava, ever curious, explored new frontiers in environmental studies and robotics. They saw each other often, but their paths began to diverge. Liam's projects grew ambitious. He designed self-sustaining energy domes and automated farming systems, ensuring the colony could thrive even in harsh conditions. Late at night, he often stood alone on the observation deck, looking at the twin suns, thinking about Ava and the promise he had made. Ava, meanwhile, joined a program that would send humans to unexplored star systems. Her work took her farther from the colony, to places humans had only dreamed of reaching. She studied alien terrains, analyzed foreign climates, and charted new worlds. Though she loved her work, she sometimes remembered that evening with Liam, the way he had looked at her, the quiet seriousness behind his playful words. Years passed, and the promise remained. Liam never spoke of it again aloud, but he carried it in his heart. Every project, every technological breakthrough, every moment of solitude under the twin suns reminded him of Ava. He wondered where she was, what she was discovering, and if she ever thought of him the same way he thought of her. One evening, a decade after that golden sunset, Liam received a transmission unlike any other. It was faint, almost indecipherable, but unmistakably human. The message was from a small fleet of explorers who had ventured into uncharted star systems. They were seeking assistance, a colony in need of human ingenuity and problem-solving. Liam's heart raced. He decoded the signal carefully, heart pounding with anticipation. The coordinates led to a planet far from Alaris, untouched by human hands. As he traced the signal, a thought struck him with sudden clarity. Ava. It could be her fleet. Could it really be her? Meanwhile, Ava stood aboard the lead vessel of the exploration fleet, staring at the holographic map of a distant star system. "This system isn't on any known chart," she said, her eyes wide. "But the signal, it's human, and it's calling for help." Her team looked to her for guidance. "What do we do?" one of the crew members asked. Ava took a deep breath, recalling the lessons of the colony, the stubborn human spirit that refused to give up in the face of unknown worlds. "We go," she said firmly. "Humans don't leave others stranded, not when we have the chance to make a difference." As her fleet prepared to leave, Ava felt a strange flutter in her chest. Memories of a boy with dark hair and mischievous eyes, promising to marry her under the twin suns, danced in her mind. She shook it off quickly, focusing on the mission. There were more important things to worry about: survival, exploration, and helping those in need. Yet deep down, a small part of her wondered if fate was about to reunite her with an old friend. Back on Alaris, Liam prepared for the journey. He gathered supplies, upgraded his ships, and ran simulations to ensure he could reach the distant planet safely. Every moment of preparation reminded him of Ava, the promise he had made, and the hope that they might meet again. Finally, the day came. Liam stepped aboard his ship, a sleek vessel designed for long-distance travel, and launched into the vast expanse of space. Stars streaked past him, each one a reminder of how small humans were in the galaxy, yet how powerful they could be when united by purpose and determination. As the journey progressed, Liam reflected on the path that had brought him here. The experiments, the late nights, the endless work. It had all been worth it for this moment, for the chance to honor a promise made under a sunset so long ago. In another corner of the galaxy, Ava's fleet approached the uncharted system. She watched the planet grow larger on the viewing screen, its surface glowing faintly with signs of human technology. Her breath caught. Could it be? Could someone from home, someone she had never forgotten, have built this? The story of reunion, challenge, and discovery was about to begin. Two humans, shaped by years of growth and experience, were being drawn together by fate. Their promise, once playful and light, was about to become a reality, but in ways neither of them could have imagined. For now, all they could do was take the first steps toward the unknown, trusting in human courage, ingenuity, and the enduring power of a promise made under twin suns long ago. And somewhere in the silent stretch of space, two hearts beat in anticipation, ready for the adventures, challenges, and unexpected joys that awaited them. The stars streaked past Ava's fleet as they traveled toward the uncharted system. She stood on the bridge of the lead vessel, her fingers lightly resting on the rail. The hum of the engines and the soft chatter of the crew created a rhythm that matched her own heartbeat. "This system isn't on any known map," said Commander Rin, her second in command. His voice held both caution and awe. "The signals we picked up, they're human, but the patterns are different, almost advanced beyond what we've seen before." Ava nodded, her mind racing. She had spent years exploring unknown worlds, and she had learned to trust her instincts. Something about this signal felt familiar, comforting even. She could not explain why, but she had a strange certainty that whoever was calling for help was not just any human. They were someone who understood the heart of humanity in a way few others did. The crew prepared for landing. Drones were deployed to scan the surface, sending back images of an alien landscape dotted with strange yet oddly familiar human technology. Small energy domes glimmered faintly on the planet's surface. There were signs of habitation, but the layout was unconventional, like it had been built with both care and ingenuity. Ava's pulse quickened. "It looks lived in," she said softly. "And it feels safe. Someone is keeping this place alive." One of the sensors beeped urgently. "Commander, energy fluctuations detected near the central dome. It appears the systems are operational, but..." "Barely," Ava frowned. "We have to help them. Prepare the landing craft. We'll go down in teams. Keep the comms open and make sure everyone stays alert." As her fleet descended toward the planet, Liam looked up from his control panels aboard his small research vessel. He had been working tirelessly for weeks, ensuring the energy systems would remain stable and habitable. He had anticipated human visitors, but he had not expected anyone from Ava's fleet. Yet the signal had drawn him out into space, and now he could see their ships approaching. His heart beat faster as he watched the familiar formation of vessels. Could it really be her? Could Ava be aboard one of those ships? The years melted away as he remembered the promise he had made under the twin suns of Ilaris. The landing was careful but smooth. Ava led her team down to the central dome, the largest of the settlement's structures. Its walls were transparent but reinforced, allowing sunlight to filter in while shielding the interior from the harsh environment. Inside, plants from Earth thrived in carefully arranged plots, and small streams ran through artificial channels, giving the space an almost magical feel. A figure moved near the far end of the dome, adjusting a panel of solar collectors. Liam's dark hair and tall, sturdy frame were unmistakable. Even from a distance, Ava felt her heart leap. She stepped forward, her footsteps light, almost hesitant. "Liam?" she called softly. He froze, turning toward the sound. His eyes widened, and for a moment neither spoke. The years of separation, the distance between stars, and the challenges they had faced all disappeared in the warmth of recognition. "Ava," he breathed, taking a step forward. "It's really you." They laughed softly, almost in disbelief. The crew looked on in quiet awe as two humans reunited after years apart on a distant alien world. After the initial excitement, reality settled in. The energy fluctuations in the domes were worsening. Systems Liam had built to sustain the colony were under stress, and without immediate repairs, parts of the settlement could fail. Ava quickly assessed the situation. "These systems are advanced," she said, examining the panels, "but they're failing faster than expected. If we don't act soon, some of the domes could collapse." Liam nodded. "I've been monitoring them, but I didn't anticipate human visitors this soon. I thought I had more time to stabilize everything before someone came." Ava smiled gently. "Humans have a way of showing up right when they're needed," she said. Together they began coordinating repairs. Ava's team worked on diagnostics and environmental stabilization, while Liam focused on the technical adjustments to the energy grids and water recycling systems. Despite the stress, their collaboration was effortless. Years of friendship, shared dreams, and unspoken understanding allowed them to anticipate each other's moves. As the day turned into night, Ava and Liam finally took a short break, sitting on a ledge overlooking the settlement. The twin suns of the distant system had set, leaving a sky filled with unfamiliar stars. "You've done an incredible job here," Ava said quietly. All of this, it's amazing." Liam shrugged, trying to hide his pride. "I just wanted to make a place humans could thrive. Somewhere we could prove that even far from Earth, humans can adapt, survive, and create beauty." Ava reached out, brushing a hand against his. "You've done more than that. You've reminded me why humans are special. Our creativity, our courage, our hearts. You've built all of that into this planet." For a moment, the past and present seemed to merge. Ava remembered their childhood dreams, their adventures near Ilaris, and Liam's promise under the twin suns. She felt a warmth in her chest, a mixture of admiration, nostalgia, and something deeper she could not name. The calm did not last. A sudden alarm echoed through the central dome. Energy readings spiked dangerously, signaling an imminent system overload. Liam and Ava sprang into action, barking orders to the crew while running diagnostics themselves. "The main reactor is unstable," Liam shouted. "We need to redistribute energy to the auxiliary systems." Ava nodded, directing her team to assist in stabilizing the colony. The problem was complex, and every second counted. The humans working together, their minds combining technical skill with adaptive thinking, embodied the very essence of resilience. As they worked, Ava marveled at the ingenuity of the colony. Each dome was designed to survive harsh conditions, with fail-safe systems built in anticipation of disaster. Yet the strain of isolation, distance from other human colonies, and limited resources made even minor malfunctions potentially catastrophic. Hours passed as they fought to stabilize the systems. Sweat ran down Liam's face, and Ava's fingers were stained from adjusting delicate circuits. But finally, with a coordinated effort, the crisis was averted. The dome stabilized, the water channels flowed, and the lights of the colony shone steadily once more. Ava leaned against a control panel, breathing heavily. "That was close," she said, glancing at Liam. He gave a tired but satisfied smile. "Humans are nothing if not persistent," he said. "We don't give up no matter the challenge." Ava nodded, a smile spreading across her face. That's why I think we're special. We can face the unknown, survive it, and even make it beautiful. As the night deepened, Ava and Liam finally had a moment of quiet. They walked through the central dome, observing the plants, streams, and carefully constructed habitats. The colony was more than just a project, it was a living testament to human potential. You've built more than a colony, Ava said softly. You've built hope. And you've reminded me that humans are capable of extraordinary things. Liam paused, looking into her eyes. I kept my promise in my own way, he said. I've been waiting for the day our paths would cross again. I didn't know how it would happen. But here you are. Ava's heart raced. She remembered the words he had spoken so many years ago under the twin suns of Alaris. The promise had seemed light-hearted then, almost like a game. But now, after years apart and across countless stars, it carried weight, meaning, and truth. I never forgot, she admitted. Even when I traveled to distant worlds, even when I faced challenges I never imagined, I thought of you, and that promise. They stood in silence, the hum of the colony around them, the stars outside the transparent walls, and a universe full of unknowns stretching endlessly. Two humans separated by time and space had found each other again, and together they embodied the courage, creativity, and heart that defined humanity. The days ahead would bring more challenges, exploration of the surrounding system, further stabilization of the colony, and unexpected encounters with phenomena neither of them had anticipated. Yet Ava and Liam knew that as humans they could face anything, especially together. The promise, once playful and light, had begun to shape reality. And in the quiet moments under alien stars, they realized that the most unexpected journeys often led to the most meaningful reunions. The alien planet stretched before Ava and Liam like a canvas waiting to be painted. The landscape was rugged, with crimson cliffs and jagged hills, yet dotted with Liam's domes and greenhouses that shimmered under the alien suns. Streams of water, clear as crystal, cut through the dry soil, feeding small groves of earth plants carefully nurtured within protective domes. Ava could hardly believe what she saw. The colony was alive, vibrant, and carefully organized. Every structure bore the mark of human ingenuity. Domes powered by solar panels, wind turbines gracefully spinning in the breeze, and automated irrigation systems ensuring every plant thrived. It was a paradise built in the most unexpected corner of the galaxy. You did all this alone? Ava whispered, awe in her voice. I didn't do it alone, Liam replied, smiling faintly. I had the knowledge of everyone who came before me. The lessons of humanity, the drive to survive, that was my company. They walked together toward the central dome. As they passed, Ava's team followed, scanning the systems and noting areas that needed maintenance. The colony was impressive, but it was clear that it had been built for endurance, not perfection. Some minor systems were showing wear, and a few life support circuits needed attention. Liam led her to a terrace overlooking the settlement. The twin suns of the system were sinking, casting long shadows across the hills. Liam leaned against the railing, his eyes distant yet fixed on the horizon. Ava stood beside him, the silence between them comfortable, filled with memories and unspoken understanding. Do you remember that evening on Alaris? Liam asked softly. When I said I'd marry you someday? Ava laughed lightly, the sound carrying a mix of nostalgia and warmth. How could I forget? You were so sure of yourself back then, even if it was just a joke. It wasn't a joke, Liam said quietly, eyes meeting hers. I've always meant it. Even when we were apart, I hoped this moment would come. Ava felt her heart tighten. So many years of separation, adventures, and discoveries had led to this. She realized then that some promises made under the simplest of circumstances carried a weight that could span time, space, and distance. Their reunion, however, could not remain peaceful for long. As the evening progressed, the colony's systems began to signal irregularities. Small tremors shook the domes. Sensors beeped warnings, and the streams of water showed signs of uneven flow. Liam's brows furrowed. This isn't normal, he muttered, scanning the energy grids. Some systems are overloading. If this continues, it could affect the entire settlement. Ava quickly joined him, her eyes scanning the panels. Could it be the planet itself? Some sort of instability? Perhaps, Liam replied, typing commands to stabilize the power flow. But human engineering is meant to adapt. We just need to act fast. The team sprang into action. Ava's crew worked to reinforce the domes and divert energy from non-essential systems. while Liam focused on repairing failing circuits and adjusting the colony's life support mechanisms. Together they formed a rhythm, a perfect synergy of experience, instinct, and sheer determination. Hours passed as they battled the problem. Sweat dripped down Liam's face, and Ava's fingers were raw from adjusting delicate circuits. Yet despite the strain, neither of them faltered. They were reminded of what it meant to be human: resilience, ingenuity, and a refusal to surrender, even in the face of seemingly impossible odds. Finally, after an intense night of work, the crisis was averted. The dome stabilized, the water channels flowed evenly, and the energy grids hummed steadily once more. The settlement shone brightly under the twin moons, a beacon of human endurance in an alien world. Ava collapsed onto a bench, breathing heavily. Liam sat beside her, equally exhausted yet satisfied. "We did it," she said quietly, her eyes shining with relief. "We really did it." Liam smiled, looking around the colony he had built. "Humans don't quit," he said simply. "Even when the odds are against us, we find a way." Ava nodded. "And sometimes we find each other again, too." She glanced at him, and for a moment, the years of distance and missed opportunities melted away. They spent the next few hours walking through the settlement, checking systems and ensuring everything was functioning properly. The crew worked efficiently, guided by Liam and Ava's leadership. As they moved, Ava observed the intricate design of the colony. Every dome, every channel of water, every greenhouse was a testament to human foresight and adaptability. "This place, it's like a living organism," Ava said softly. "Everything is connected, balanced. You've really built more than a colony, Liam. You've built hope." Liam glanced at her, a small smile on his lips. "That's what humans do," he said. "We create, we adapt, we survive, and we inspire each other along the way." The next morning, Ava led a team to survey the surrounding environment. The planet was beautiful but harsh, with rocky terrain and sudden wind gusts that could topple anything unprepared. Yet she felt a strange sense of belonging here, as if the planet itself recognized the determination and spirit of the humans who had settled it. Liam joined her on the survey, carrying portable instruments and scanning equipment. They explored rocky valleys, wide plains, and small streams, observing the natural systems and how they interacted with the human-built structures. "This planet has potential," Ava said, adjusting a sensor to measure soil quality. "With your domes and systems, humans could thrive here for generations." Liam nodded, scanning a ridge ahead. "I wanted to make a place where humans could survive anything. A planet where we could show that we can adapt, endure, and create beauty even in the harshest conditions." Their conversation was interrupted by a sudden alert from the colony's central dome. Energy readings spiked, indicating a malfunction in one of the primary reactors. Without hesitation, Ava and Liam sprinted back toward the settlement, adrenaline pumping through their veins. The situation was critical. One of the main reactors was unstable, threatening to shut down multiple domes and life support systems. Liam quickly assessed the problem, realizing it was caused by a combination of environmental strain and a minor software glitch. "We need to redistribute the energy and manually reset the reactor," he said, his hands flying over the controls. "Ava, I'll need your help in the auxiliary chamber. Can you handle it?" "Of course," she replied, determination in her eyes. Together they descended into the reactor chamber, the heat and hum of machinery surrounding them. Ava worked on stabilizing the power flow, rerouting energy from non-essential systems, while Liam repaired damaged circuits and recalibrated sensors. It was an intense, exhausting process, but their teamwork was seamless, honed by years of friendship and mutual trust. Hours passed, and finally the reactor stabilized. The colony hummed steadily once more, the domes safe and the plants thriving. Exhausted but triumphant, Liam and Ava emerged from the chamber, their clothes stained with oil and sweat. "We did it again," Ava said, her voice a mix of relief and pride. Liam smiled, brushing his hands on his pants. "Humans are unstoppable when we work together," he said, "and when we refuse to give up no matter the challenge." Ava looked at him, a sense of admiration and something deeper filling her heart. "I never realized. Humans are more than just survivors. We're creators, problem solvers, dreamers, and sometimes we're lucky enough to find someone who believes in all of that with us." Liam reached for her hand, their fingers brushing. "I've always believed," he said softly. Even when we were apart, I knew we'd find each other again. And now, here we are. The twin moons rose over the horizon, casting a silver glow on the colony. The stars sparkled in the dark sky, endless and full of possibilities. Two humans stood together side by side on a distant planet they had made into a home. Their reunion was more than just a meeting of friends. It was the convergence of dreams, courage, and the human spirit itself. As they looked out over the settlement, Ava realized that this was only the beginning. The planet held more secrets, more challenges, and more adventures waiting to be uncovered. But with Liam by her side, and the resilience of humanity guiding them, she felt certain they could face anything. The promise made long ago under the twin suns of Alaris had not only survived the passage of time, it had grown stronger. And in the vastness of space on a planet far from home, two humans had discovered that together they could build more than colonies. They could build futures. The morning light spilled across the colony like a gentle promise, illuminating the domes, greenhouses, and streams that had become a testament to human ingenuity. Ava and Liam moved through the settlement together, checking systems, discussing plans, and quietly marveling at what they had built. It was a rare moment of peace, one they both knew could not last. A sudden alert blinked on the main console in the central dome. Liam frowned, scanning the readouts. "Energy levels are fluctuating again," he muttered. "This time it's worse. Some of the secondary domes are showing signs of instability. We need to investigate immediately." Ava's brow furrowed. Could it be the environment? Some hidden factor we didn't notice? Liam shook his head. "It's hard to say. The systems I installed are resilient, but these fluctuations are unlike anything I've seen. Something is stressing the entire network." Without a moment's hesitation, they gathered the crew and prepared for an inspection of the affected areas. Drones were deployed to survey the domes, providing real-time feedback on structural integrity, energy flow, and environmental stability. The readings were alarming. Several domes were at risk of partial collapse if immediate action was not taken. Ava and Liam moved quickly, their experience and teamwork allowing them to coordinate repairs efficiently. Ava handled the environmental adjustments, rerouting air and water flow to prevent pressure imbalances, while Liam focused on the energy systems, stabilizing the power grids and preventing overloads. Despite their calm efficiency, a sense of urgency pressed upon them. The colony was alive, and its survival depended entirely on their ability to act quickly and intelligently. Hours into the repairs, a more serious problem arose. A sudden surge in energy disrupted the central dome, causing multiple systems to shut down temporarily. Alarms blared and lights flickered. The crew scrambled to respond, but the situation was chaotic. "This surge is enormous," Liam shouted, his hands flying across the controls. "It's overloading every safety protocol. If we don't fix it fast, several domes could fail simultaneously." Ava's mind raced. She needed a plan, and fast. "We'll have to manually redistribute the energy," she called out. "Liam, I'll handle the primary grid. You work on the auxiliary circuits and life support systems." They split up, moving with precision despite the chaos. Ava entered the main chamber, carefully rerouting energy from the non-essential systems to the failing domes. Sparks flew as circuits overloaded, but she remained calm, her hands steady and her mind focused. Meanwhile, Liam worked in the auxiliary chamber, adjusting delicate systems, rerouting energy, and repairing minor faults as they arose. Every decision mattered, every calculation was critical. They were fighting against the unknown, using nothing but human intelligence, creativity, and determination. As the hours dragged on, the crew began to feel the strain. Sweat dripped from foreheads and muscles ached from constant effort. Yet, despite exhaustion, there was a quiet determination in the group. Humans had built this colony, and humans would save it. Ava paused for a moment, catching her breath and wiping soot from her face. She looked around at the team, their faces tense but unwavering. She felt a surge of pride. "Look at what we've done," she said quietly. "Even now, even under pressure, we don't give up. That's who we are." Liam appeared beside her, nodding. "And that's why this colony will survive. Humans aren't just survivors. We're thinkers, creators, problem solvers, and together we're unstoppable." They returned to their work, determination renewed. Piece by piece, dome by dome, the energy systems were stabilized. The secondary domes began to hum steadily. Life support systems reactivated, and the water channels flowed once more. Finally, After a grueling day and night of effort, the crisis was averted. The central dome systems were secure, and the colony's environmental grids were functioning perfectly. Exhausted but triumphant, Ava and Liam stepped out onto the terrace overlooking the settlement. The twin moons rose over the horizon, casting silver light across the domes and streams. Ava leaned against the railing, breathing heavily. "We did it," she said, her voice filled with relief and pride. "We saved it." Liam nodded, looking out over the settlement he had spent years building. "Humans don't quit," he said simply. "No matter how difficult the challenge, no matter how impossible it seems, we find a way." They stood in silence for a moment, reflecting on the trials they had faced and the resilience that had carried them through. The colony was more than a collection of structures. It was a living testament to human creativity, courage, and the ability to thrive in the most unexpected places. As they walked through the settlement, Liam and Ava shared quiet conversations about the future. They discussed plans to expand the colony, explore the surrounding terrain, and build systems that would allow humans to live sustainably for generations. Each decision was made with care, blending scientific precision with hope and vision. "You know," Ava said, glancing at Liam, "this crisis, it reminded me why humans are special. It's not just technology or intelligence. It's the way we care for each other, work together, and never give up. That's what makes us remarkable." Liam smiled, feeling a warmth in his chest. "And that's why I promised you all those years ago. I knew humans could rise above anything, and I hoped we'd find each other again." Ava's heart swelled. The promise, made so lightly under the twin suns of Alaris, had carried through time and distance, shaping their lives in ways neither could have imagined. That night, as the colony settled into quiet harmony, Ava and Liam found themselves outside looking at the stars. The twin moons reflected in the water channels, creating a mesmerizing pattern of light across the settlement. "Do you ever wonder," Ava asked softly, "what it would have been like if we hadn't left Alaris, if we had stayed behind, building life together there instead of traveling the stars?" Liam considered her question carefully. "Perhaps we would have built something beautiful, but not as extraordinary as this. The universe gave us challenges, distance, and time, and we've used them to grow, to learn, and to build something even greater than we imagined." Ava nodded, her eyes reflecting the distant stars. "You're right. Humans adapt, survive, and create. Even in the unknown, we find ways to shine." Liam reached for her hand, their fingers entwining naturally. "And sometimes," he said softly, "we find each other again, no matter how far the stars separate us." Ava smiled, feeling a sense of completeness she hadn't realized she was missing. The challenges, the adventures, and the unexpected crises had tested them, but they had survived, and they had grown stronger together. The next day, the crew began surveying the surrounding region, mapping potential expansion sites and testing environmental conditions. Liam and Ava worked side by side, coordinating efforts, analyzing data, and ensuring the colony's continued success. Each discovery, each improvement reinforced the truth they had come to understand. Humans were extraordinary, capable of thriving in even the most alien and challenging environments. Ava paused at one point, looking out over the distant cliffs. "This planet, it's more than just a place to live. It's a challenge, a teacher, and a testament to everything humans can do." Liam nodded, adjusting a sensor. "And we're just getting started. There's so much more to explore, more to build, and more to learn. Humans have only begun to show what we're capable of." As the sun set over the alien horizon, casting long shadows across the colony, Ava and Liam stood together, looking at the domes, the streams, and the thriving plants. The planet was alive, not just with the presence of humans, but with the spirit of ingenuity, courage, and hope. The test of humanity had been passed. The crisis had pushed them to their limits, but it had also reminded them of who they were and what humans could achieve when faced with the unknown. And under the light of alien moons, Ava realized that the promise Liam had made so many years ago was no longer just a memory or a dream. It was alive, growing, and ready to shape the future they would face together. The dawn on the alien planet painted the sky in shades of pink and violet, a breathtaking display over the settlement that Liam had built and Ava had helped stabilize. The twin moons still lingered faintly in the distance, casting gentle reflections across the domes and water channels. It was a calm morning, a rare moment of peace after weeks of challenges, energy surges, and relentless work. Ava stepped outside the central dome, breathing in the crisp air. The breeze carried hints of the earth plants Liam had nurtured within the domes, blending with the alien soil. She smiled, feeling a deep sense of connection to this world, to the humans who had built it, and to the boy who had promised her so many years ago that he would marry her someday. Liam emerged behind her, carrying 2 cups of warm tea synthesized from the colony's crops. He handed one to her, their fingers brushing slightly, and Ava felt a familiar warmth. "Good morning," Liam said softly, his eyes on the horizon. The colony survived the night without incident. "Everything is stable." Ava took a sip, savoring the warmth. "It feels perfect," she said, glancing at the settlement. "After everything we've faced, seeing it peaceful like this? It's incredible." Liam smiled, leaning on the railing beside her. "You know, I promised you years ago, under the twin suns of Alaris, that I would marry you someday." His voice was gentle but firm. "I didn't know how or when or if the universe would let it happen. But here we are." Ava's heart skipped a beat. She remembered the laughter, the playful teasing, the promise made so long ago when they were just children exploring the plains of their colony. She realized that the promise had survived the distance, the time, and the challenges of the stars. "And I never forgot," she said quietly. "Even when I was across the galaxy exploring new worlds, I kept thinking of you, and of that promise." For a long moment they stood in silence, watching the settlement below. Every dome, every stream, every plant was a testament to human courage, ingenuity, and perseverance. But now it also symbolized something more personal, the fulfillment of a promise, a connection that had endured across the cosmos. The morning passed with a rare calm. The crew surveyed the surrounding terrain, noting areas where the colony could expand and flourish. Liam and Ava moved through the settlement together, checking systems, planting new seeds, and making small adjustments. The work was peaceful, almost meditative, and it allowed them to reflect on the journey that had brought them here. "You've built more than a colony," Ava said as they walked along a raised walkway. "You've built hope, and you've built a place where humans can thrive, even on a planet no one thought was habitable." Liam nodded. "I wanted to prove that humans can adapt, survive, and create beauty anywhere. That even in the most alien environments we can leave a mark that is lasting, meaningful, and full of life." Ava looked at him, admiration and affection shining in her eyes. "You've done that and more. You've reminded me why humans are special, why we keep pushing forward, and why we care for each other. And now I see that promise you made. It wasn't just about us. It's about everything humans can do." Liam smiled softly. "Then I guess the promise was bigger than just marriage. It was about humanity too." Ava laughed, a gentle, melodic sound that warmed the morning air. "I think it was." Later that day, a new challenge arose. Survey drones detected a sudden storm forming on the distant cliffs, strong winds capable of damaging some of the external domes. Liam and Ava sprang into action, coordinating the crew to reinforce structures, anchor the greenhouses, and secure the energy grids. "This planet tests us constantly," Liam said as he worked to reroute power from non-essential systems to the external defense fields. "But humans are meant to adapt. We find solutions even when the odds seem impossible." Ava nodded, adjusting the shields around the largest domes. "We don't just survive, we thrive. And we do it together." As the storm raged, the team worked seamlessly. Every human contribution, every effort, every decision reflected the best of what humanity could offer: intelligence, courage, resilience, and collaboration. Even in the face of danger, they moved with purpose, embodying the very essence of human spirit. Hours later, the storm passed. The domes remained intact, the plants unharmed, and the energy grids stable. Exhausted but triumphant, Ava and Liam emerged from the central dome to witness the calm after the storm. The settlement sparkled in the soft light of the twin moons, a shining symbol of human achievement. That evening, the colony gathered for a quiet moment of celebration. Crew members shared meals, laughter, and stories of the day's work. Liam and Ava stood together observing the scene, feeling a deep sense of pride and fulfillment. "You've done it," Ava said softly. "All of this. It's incredible. You've shown what humans can accomplish when we refuse to give up, when we work together and when we care for each other." Liam glanced at her, eyes filled with warmth. "And I've done it with you by my side. You reminded me why humans endure, why we create, and why we never stop striving. You've been part of every step even when we were apart." Ava reached for his hand, their fingers intertwining naturally. "Then let's continue together," she said, a smile lighting her face. "Not just building colonies, but building a future for humans and for us." Liam's heart swelled. He knelt down before her, surprising both Ava and the crew. "I told you I'd marry you someday," he said, voice steady and full of meaning. "And I mean it. Here now. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Will you marry me?" Ava's eyes widened, tears glistening as she smiled. "Yes," she whispered, laughing through her tears. "Yes, I will." The crew cheered, celebrating not just a union of two humans, but the spirit of hope, determination, and love that had carried them across the stars. The twin moons shone brightly above, as if blessing the promise fulfilled. The following days were filled with preparation, planning, and quiet joy. Ava and Liam continued to expand the colony, training the crew, building new greenhouses, and exploring the nearby terrain. Every new project reminded them of what humans were capable of: ingenuity, perseverance, and the ability to thrive in unexpected places. One evening, as they walked along the cliffs overlooking the settlement, Ava looked at Liam, her hand in his. "Do you ever think about how far we've come? From Alaris to years apart to this planet. All of it feels like a dream." Liam nodded, gazing at the stars. "It feels like a story, doesn't it? One filled with challenges, discoveries, and unexpected turns. But the truth is, humans write their own stories. We face the unknown, adapt, and create something extraordinary. And sometimes," Ava said softly, smiling at him, "we find each other again, no matter how far the stars separate us." Liam squeezed her hand gently, "And that's what makes it all worthwhile. The challenges, the adventures, the discoveries, they all lead to moments like this." Months passed and the colony flourished. Humans thrived on the alien planet, guided by Liam's technology, Ava's insight, and the unwavering spirit of cooperation and courage. The settlement became a beacon of hope for future explorers, a testament to what humans could achieve when they worked together and refused to give up. Ava and Liam worked side by side, planning the next stages of expansion, exploring distant regions and ensuring the colony's safety. But more than that, they nurtured a life together, filled with laughter, shared dreams, and the fulfillment of a promise that had survived years, separation, and countless stars. One evening, under the twin moons, Liam and Ava stood together on the highest terrace of the central dome. The settlement sparkled below them, streams of light reflecting in the water channels, domes glowing softly in the alien twilight. "You know," Ava said quietly, leaning against him, "I think humans are truly special. We create, we adapt, we survive. And we love, no matter the distance or the challenges." Liam smiled, wrapping an arm around her. "And sometimes we find someone who believes in all of that with us. Someone who shares the journey, the adventures, and the future." Ava rested her head on his shoulder, looking at the horizon. "I'm glad it's you. And I'm glad it was always you." Liam kissed the top of her head gently. "It always has been, and now, our story continues together." The stars stretched endlessly above them, vast and full of possibility. But in that moment, on an alien planet far from Earth, Ava and Liam knew that humans could face anything. Together they had built a colony, survived challenges, and fulfilled a promise. And together they would continue to explore, create, and thrive, proof that humans were extraordinary no matter where the universe took them.